Men's tennis had a great weekend at the River Forest Invitational, and we're going to have a very special interview with one of our YSU volleyball members. All that and much more coming up next on the Penguin Rundown. Nation, Richie Giuliano with you here on the Penguin Rundown. It was a big weekend for Youngstown State Athletics, and one of the biggest events of that weekend, the Penguins football team traveled to a Big Ten opponent, and that's where we're going to get it started here today as the Penguins traveled up north to East Lansing to take on the Michigan State Spartans this past Saturday. In their first away game of the season, they ran into a very talented Michigan State team. They tasted defeat for the first time this season in a 42-14 loss. Michigan State struck first in the ball game. The Spartans went one play for 75 yards in just 10 seconds. That gave them a 7-0 lead. Then almost 7 minutes later, Michigan State ran into the end zone to give them a 14-0 lead. The Spartans kept up the scoring as they opened up a 28-0 lead. Our Penguins, though, did not give up. Near the end of the half, the Penguins scored their first touchdown of the game. It was quarterback Demetric Crenshaw who pulled out the do-it-yourself kit and ran the football in for a Youngstown State touchdown. That made the score 28-7. Michigan State, although, would find the end zone again just before the half, ending this final half 35-7. The Penguins would score one more time in the ball game. That came in the third quarter when Christian Turner found the end zone, making the score 35-14 overall. Redshirt freshman Demetric Crenshaw finished the ball game going 10 for 23 through the air for 81 yards passing and rushed for 69 yards and a touchdown. Senior running back Christian Turner had 5 carries, 48 yards for him and a touchdown as well. Freshman Luke Hensley hauled in 4 catches for 48 yards. Up next on September 25th, the Penguins will be welcoming the Western Illinois Leathernecks to STAMBAUGH Stadium. Kickoff for that game is slated for 6 p.m. You can also catch the game live on ESPN Plus or 570 WKBN. For more on the Penguin football team, we send it over to Caleb Ellison and Kyle Wills for the Roundtable segment.
Thanks, guys. Here we are at STAMBAUGH Stadium. I'm Caleb Ellison. Joining me today is Kyle Wills, and when we're at the Ice Castle, that can only mean one thing. We're talking YSU football. Now, they did have a pretty disappointing weekend against Michigan State, losing 42-14. Not what you like to see, but I feel like they had a better performance than the scoreboard indicates.
Yeah, like you said, the scoreboard obviously didn't show how well this Penguin team played. I mean, 42-14, I don't think you're really seeing much of any bright side to this game, but if you go back and watch the game, there were definitely some bright sides in this game. I mean, Demetric Crenshaw under center was forced to, make some more passes in his second career start, and I think he made some pretty good reads in the game. I mean, obviously the passes weren't always there. Sometimes they're a little behind, a little short, but he made some good reads. Only had 1 turnover, and it wasn't even like it was his fault. It was a good read. The defenders made a really nice play, a nice one-handed interception in the end zone. But, I mean, there's a lot of good takeaways. I mean, defensively, they had some younger talent step up. So I think against a team like Michigan State, there was a lot of bright sides to
Absolutely. I mean, as an offense, they did gain over 300 yards. You talk about the freshman quarterback, Demetric Crenshaw, He's able to rush for 70 yards and picked up a touchdown along the way. Senior running back Christian Turner, he averaged nearly 10 yards per carry. So definitely the offense, they had a big test in front of them against Michigan State, and they were able to prove themselves a little bit.
Yeah, Michigan State, I mean, up front, big, strong line up front. So, I mean, being able to, someone like Christian Turner be able to come in, rush for over 10 yards a carry, that's pretty impressive against a team like Michigan State. And Crenshaw, I mean, he contributed in the run game too, had 20 rushes for about 70 yards. Whenever he ran, he from whistle to whistle fought until he was tackled. I mean, look at the 1 touchdown rush he had. I mean, he was getting hit from everywhere, and he still managed to find a way to get into the end zone. So I think a team like Michigan State being able to play the way that they did, be able to fight the way they did, I think there's a very good, strong takeaway from this game.
And then defensively, we had some young guys kind of standout performances here. Sophomore Jordan White led the defense with 9 total tackles, and then right under him was sophomore DeMarco Gustin. He had 8 tackles.
I mean, like you said, some younger talent there. Both are sophomores. Being able to step up against a team like Michigan State, like I said, big, strong, powerful team. Being able to have the younger guys step up against a team like them, being able to play the way that they did, I think it's a very bright future to be able to have these young guys play. So I think as the season progresses, it can only go up from here with the younger talent. Hopefully, as the season progresses, you'll see some more younger talent step up and play like that.
Absolutely. Now, there's not going to be any football action this weekend. It is a bye week for the Penguins, but it could be good for them not only to just recover from this last game they played, but also just analyze what just happened against Michigan State, learn from it, and be able to use it later in the season.
Yeah, like you said, the Penguins have a bye week this week. I think being able to play a team like Michigan State, probably the best team on their schedule this season, being able to have that extra week to be able to sit down, watch film, be able to really learn from their performance against a team like this. So, especially when you have a young quarterback like Dimitri, like you said, second career start, really is starting to learn under this Penguin offense. I mean, I think you always knew there was going to be some learning curves, and Michigan State definitely was one of those learning curves. So I think being able to have the extra week against Western Ill, I think it's going to be very beneficial for this Penguin offense and team.
Absolutely. Bring up Western Illinois. That is YSU's next opponent that will be played here at STAMBAUGH Stadium on September 25th. Western Illinois, right now, they're 0-2. YSU is 1-1. So just from a record standpoint, the odds look to be in Youngstown's favor.
Yeah, I mean, and being back at the Ice House, I think it's going to be any advantage to be in their home stadium. In terms of Western Ill, they're 0-2. They have Eastern Washington upcoming this weekend. They're still looking for that first win. I mean, as a team, they're still trying to find answers for this season. I mean, it's early on, still plenty of time to find answers. But I think going into this next matchup for the Penguins after this bye week, I think it's definitely going to be in the favor of the Penguins.
Absolutely. Talk about that energy playing at home. If you remember week 1 against Incarnate Ward, we really packed the Ice Castle here, and it showed by YSU being able to pick up that overtime victory. But that is all the time we have for here at STAMBAUGH Stadium. I've been Caleb Ellison.
I'm Kyle Wills.
Now it's time to send it back to the studio.
Thanks, Kyle and Caleb, on your insight of the Youngstown State football team. As for the women's soccer team here at YSU, they began their 3-match homestand on Thursday against non-conference opponent and St. Bonaventure. The Penguins and the Bonnies would battle defensively all night long, with nobody putting the ball in the back of the net the entire 90 minutes. The match would then go into 2 overtimes with no goals scored. Therefore, the match ended in a tie. Junior goalkeeper Mackenzie Simon made her first start of the season and recorded 7 saves. The team had 18 total shots, but only 6 were on goal. The Penguins would then host the Akron Zips on Sunday afternoon for the Battle of I-76. Akron got on the board first with a penalty kick scored by Katie Stafford with just 2:11 left to play in that first half. The Zips started the second half where they left off offensively, scoring back-to-back goals to make it a 3-0 match. The Penguins did not give up as Regan Lavinia put one in the back of the net in the 66th minute, and Marcella Sizer scored with under 1 minute left to go in the match. Akron would survive the late scare and pick up a 3-2 victory. The soccer team will return to Farmers National Bank Field on Thursday as they open up Horizon League play with the Oakland Golden Grizzlies on Thursday at 5:30. As for the men's tennis team, they headed out this past Friday and Saturday to compete at the River Forest Invitational held at the River Forest Tennis Club. What a great opening to the season this was for the team as they entered in strong. There were some singles wins in the men's success this past invitational coming from David Alvarez Moreno, Javi Pla, and Nathan Favier. The highlight of the weekend would have to be the #1 doubles flight win with Laurentiu Montecescu and Will Everett. They won those 2 double matches. The flight title was certainly hard fought, though, as they battled their way through 3 close doubles contests to achieve the feat. Match 1 ended 6-5, match 2 6-5 as well, and match 3 ended 6-2, and the Penguins would take the doubles victory. The men look ahead to their next goal on September 17th through the 19th when they're back in action for the UNC Wilmington Invitational. Now for the volleyball team, they traveled to Toledo, Ohio this past weekend as they competed against some tough competition in the Blue and Gold Invitational. First, the Gwins took on Valparaiso in their first match and unfortunately were defeated 3-0. The team leaders were seniors Amanda Lebiota, who led the team with 12 kills, sophomore Lexi Beakey, who added 18 assists, and junior Riley Seagroves, who put up 21 digs. Freshman standout Paula Gershing earned her third double-double of the season with 10 kills and 14 digs. Then on Saturday, the Gwins fought hard but fell for a second time in a 5-set thriller against South Dakota State. Once again, Paula Gershing led the way as she earned a double-double with 21 kills and 11 digs. Lexi Beakey assisted 42 of the team's 60 kills while also earning a career-best 18 digs. Libero Riley Seagroves led YSU defensively in digs with 21 and contributed 10 assists of her own. In the evening and final match of the Invitational, the Gwins went up against the Toledo Rockets. Youngstown State will come up short, though, again, as they lost 3-0. Junior Ellie Cox earned a career-high 8 kills for her, with Gershing notching another double-double of 10 kills and 11 digs. YSU will stay on the road this week and compete in the Golden Flashes Invitational. They battle in-state rivals Kent State tomorrow at 6 p.m. Then they will take on the Duquesne Dukes on Friday, also at 6 p.m. Check updates and live stats on the Invitational at YSUsports.com. And now it's time for a very special interview with YSU libero Riley Seagroves. And with that, we send it over to our very own Katie Rogers-Vidala.
Thanks, Richie. We have a special guest here with us today. We have Riley Seagroves of the women's volleyball team. Riley, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, let's get right into this. We know COVID has affected sports all around the world, whether it be rescheduling, delaying, or even canceling games. I think something important to note is you guys had a whole season without fans.
Yeah.
And you guys hosted the first Invitational of the season a couple weeks ago. How was it playing in front of fans again?
It was so nice to have people there cheering you on because I feel like they bring a type of energy that we can't even create ourselves. And having like your family and your friends in the stands, they just bring a little bit, like they make you want to do better and they make you want to just show up and play the game just a little bit more.
Yeah, there was a big student section there.
Yeah, there was.
It was really nice having
Yeah.
fans back and hyping up the team. And since your team hosted the first Invitational, you guys are basically going to be on the road the entire month of
Yes.
September. What was it like traveling with the team? Did you guys have any team dinners, team bonding? What did you guys do?
We had tons of team dinners so far, and it's so fun, like sitting with like the team and like being with like not only your roommates, because I feel like in practice, like you're just practicing, so like you never really get to just sit down and like talk to like the freshmen or the sophomores or like the seniors even. So I feel like it's nice to just sit down with everybody and just have good conversations and have a good time and just bond more than you would in practice.
Yeah, and speaking of freshmen, you mentioned the freshmen. You guys did pretty good recruiting in the
Yeah.
off season.
Yeah.
You got 4 new freshmen. How do you think they're adopting to college life, playing at the collegiate level in volleyball? Like, how do you think they're doing?
I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like, they don't even feel like freshmen to any of us, like not even just on the volleyball side, but like just personally, like we feel like they've fit in so well. And
like family.
yeah, honestly. And like, especially like on the court, they're creating just such a great energy. Like they're probably the most outgoing group that we have, and like they just bring so much energy to the table every time. And like Paula, she's been an amazing asset to this
really
team.
Good.
Yeah, and like anytime the freshmen come in, they perform, and it's really nice to see that.
Yeah, it's exciting. I can't wait to see you guys kick some butt
Me
this
too.
year. And lastly, has Coach Scott or anybody given you any collective team goals for the season? Do you have any personal goals you set for yourself as a libero again?
I obviously personal goals, like I just want to be more of a leader on the court and off the court. I feel like I'm stepping into a big role and filling some big shoes.
Yeah.
So I just want to keep performing for the team and doing my best every single time I get on the court. And team goals, like we just want to change this program around and like make it more of a winningest program, and I think we're well on our way to doing that just based on the progress that we've already made since past seasons. So I think we're going to have a pretty good season, hopefully, and we're working towards it every single day.
I'm really excited for you guys.
Thank
and good
you.
luck at the Blue and Gold Invitational
Thank
this
you.
weekend. We'll be
Thank
playing
you.
Kent State. That'll be exciting.
Pretty exciting.
That'll be all for us here. Riley Seagroves, I'm Katie Rogers-Vidala. Richie, back to you.
Penguin fans, it's now time for our Penguin Play of the Week. And with that, we are going to send it over to Kyle Phelps, who has more.
Thanks, Richie. So for this week's Penguin Play of the Week, we have Christian Turner's touchdown against Michigan State. Let's check it out. So as you can see here, he gets the handoff, turns the corner, gets a nice chip block there, and starts walking right into the end zone. And as soon as he walks to the end zone, you can see him start celebrating. This was a great moment for him and the team, who was really struggling up to that point. The team embraces him. As you can see, the fans are all booing him, and on the sideline, the players are not happy with that play, but it was a great acceleration as soon as he turned that corner, and he knew as soon as he got there that that was a touchdown all day. And congratulations to Chris Turner for this play of the week. Back to you, Richie.
Thanks, Kyle, and that'll do it here for the Penguin Rundown. For news, information, and more on YSU sports, you can check out YSUsports.com, and be sure to follow us on social media on Instagram and Twitter at at Penguin Rundown 1. And that'll do it. I'm Richie Giuliano saying so long, and we will see you next week, Penguin Nation.